I want to be a cake designer, an animator, a veterinarian, a scientist, a lawyer, and even the President of the United States. Hello, my name is Zoe, and when I grow up, I want to be the President of the United States. But first, I think I need to do some homework. So today, I will be visiting Councilor at Large, Susan Falkoff, and Aaron Dushku, here at Watertown Town Hall. Come and join me. I knew her time was valuable, so we jumped right in. Where did you go to college?
I went to Brandeis, nearby.
What was your major in college?
Completely not relevant to what I'm doing, for the most part, was history of art.
What is your role in government here in Watertown?
Well, I'm a town councilor, which means there's two kinds of councilors. Watertown has 4 districts, and some people are district councilor and some are what's called at large, which means they represent everybody in the town. So I'm an at-large town councilor.
I read that you're very involved in making the environment green for Watertown. Can you tell me more about that?
Sure, that's been an important priority for me. One of the things I've done is work with the Public Works Department to change their snow plowing practices and use less salt, because salt is very bad for the environment. And I have asked the town manager to be sure that any vehicles we use for the town are the most fuel efficient vehicles that will serve that purpose.
If I want to be president, any words of advice?
Learn about history, learn about political science, about how things are done. The better prepared you are for anything that you might want to do.
Thank you, Councilwoman Falkoff, for taking the time to talk with me.
It's been a great pleasure. Thank you for interviewing me. And best of luck, whatever you decide to do. I'm sure you'll be good at it.
Thank you. After the interview with Councilwoman Falkoff, she let me bang the gavel. And I also got to go to the podium like citizens do when they are addressing the town council. And on my way, I ran into Watertown's town manager, Michael Driscoll. Before I met up with Councilman Dushku, I met up with his son and my fellow schoolmate, JoJo. He showed me around Watertown's town hall for a backstage tour of what he likes to do when his dad is in a council meeting.
This is one of my favorite rooms because it has like all the candy. This is not really my favorite room because you have to be quiet and it's kind of boring.
Our first favorite spot of JoJo's is the basement.
It's a vending machine.
So what do we do here? What is that job?
You get the town like better stuff.
This was tonight. Let's see. Discuss recommendations for the capital improvement program.
Hey, why don't we play dodgeball? So we were playing dodgeball with stuffed animals.
Where?
In here.
They're probably planning Campo Plaza stuff for next year. That's the director of recreation. Do you know Ernie? Sometimes goes to the schools. All those notes. Yep.
Ta-da!
There's a tour. It's appropriate that you guys are perched right here because this is JoJo's favorite place in the whole town hall right there.
Thank you, JoJo, for giving me a tour.
You're welcome.
Let's go. What's your role in the government here in Watertown?
Town Councilor at Large.
For how long have you been a city council member?
I've been a member since I got elected in 2013, so I started on January 1st, 2014. And then I got re-elected one more time after that. So 2 elections. And we're about to have another election this summer, actually. They're fun, right?
What quality does it take to be a city council person?
Well, you have to listen a lot.
Yeah.
You have to listen to people a lot and be very patient, I think. And then you also have to learn how to cooperate, because sometimes people like to do things because they think it's the right idea and the right way to do it, but there's 9 city councilors, so you can only get something done if at least 5 people want to do it, right? Because we're all going to vote to make a decision, so I can't just say, I want this, and if 4 people don't agree with me, it's not going to happen, right? So we have to cooperate. Yeah. The most rewarding thing is that we can change things. We can do a lot. In the time that I've been a town councilor, we decided as a town, through partly because of my work, but partly because of the cooperation that we had at the town council, to do a lot good things. When one of the things we did was improve the schools. We added a lot of money to the schools, millions of dollars, extra dollars to the schools. We hired, in the last 3 years, more than 60 new people for the schools. A lot of teachers, right? One teacher makes a big difference in the schools, right? So that was really rewarding. I like that because somebody in my own family is in the schools, and it makes life better for him, and hopefully for you. So we passed a new, we don't make laws, we make ordinances here at the town council. So we passed an ordinance last year that's going to stop any store in Watertown from giving out plastic bags.
Why?
Because plastic bags get in the water and they get washed down the river and they get in the oceans. And what happens when they get in the oceans?
Other animals get stuck in it or eat it.
And they die. And sometimes it breaks down into little teeny tiny pieces that get mixed up and they look like soup, and the animals think that it's plankton and they eat it and their stomachs get full of those little teeny tiny plastic pieces, and they die. So it's really sad. But starting in June, no store in Watertown will be able to use plastic bags. So it's pretty awesome.
85% of all sea turtles will be injured or killed by plastics in their lifetime, including endangered leatherback turtles that summer in Massachusetts Bay before migrating to the tropics to mate. If I want to be a president, any words of advice for me?
You want to be the president?
Yeah.
Patience. Listen to people. Most of the time, people just want to be heard. Sometimes they don't need an answer immediately, but people want to be heard. And I was thinking about this question because I knew you wanted to be president. Some people, obviously I'm not president, so I don't know everything it takes to be president, but I know what it takes to get elected as a town councilor. And I was thinking about how to explain it to you, and I was wondering about what kind of jobs that you have at home. Do you have jobs at home?
Yeah.
What do you do at home?
I have to get my backpack ready for the next day for school.
Yeah.
I have to feed my pets.
Feed your pets. Do you ever clean your room?
Depends on the status.
It's a lot of work, and some people say, oh man, I can never do that. It's too much work. But I was thinking about cleaning your room and how hard it must look. Then after you start going on it and get working on it, what happens?
It gets easier and easier and easier.
Yeah, it gets easier and easier as you do it, the longer you do it. And then I realized that probably the hardest part about doing it was just deciding to do it and just starting.
Yeah.
So that was my advice. So if you say I want to be president,
Yeah.
the hardest thing to do is just start.
Yeah.
Is just try. Just say, okay, I'm running for election right now. And you probably start with a small election and you grow and grow and grow and grow.
Thank you, Councilor Aaron Dushku
You're very welcome.
and JoJo for taking the time to talk with me. Wow, was a lot of information. I would like to thank Councilman at Large Susan Falkoff and Aaron Dushku, and a special thanks to my schoolmate JoJo for showing me around. It sounds like it may be a long road ahead of me, but who knows, maybe I will be the President of the United States one day.
Up next,
Let's head over to my favorite spot, Reader's Corner.
today we will cover the book called Not Quite Narwhal by Jessie Sima. Not Quite Narwhal is a story of Kelp, who knew from the very start he was a little different from the other narwhals. His tusk wasn't as long and he couldn't swim that well. Then one day, the current carried him away towards land. There he saw something that looked familiar. Kelp sees this mysterious creature that looks like him. He goes on land in search of this creature. When he stumbles upon them, he says, "Land narwhals." One of the unicorns looked at Kelp and says, "Actually, we're unicorns. And by the looks of it, you are too." It was fun, and it showed that it's okay to be different. And those who are your real friends will accept you for your differences. I give this book an A+.
Today I will be speaking with my local state representative, Jonathan Hecht.
See, this is what we use when we want to talk here. We have to turn these on and then talk into this thing.
Yes.
And that's what we use for voting.
Maybe. Oop, I need help.
That's exactly what that is. That's for getting help. This is if you made a mistake. See, if you voted yes, but you meant to vote no, you can push this and it'll go off and you can do it again. So yes, no, I made a mistake, I need help.
Wow, I love the room.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. What's it called?
This is called the House of Representatives Chamber.
What is the House of Chambers used for?
This is the room where all 160 representatives meet when we're going to talk about a law or talk about the budget and vote on some things. So this is where we do our work, when we all need to be together to work.
That's a lot of people.
It is a lot of people, but we have a lot of people in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So we need 160 people to represent all of the people in Massachusetts.
I read in your biography that you are a member of the House Committee on Global Warming and Climate Change.
Right.
Why do you think global warming is happening?
Why do I think it's happening? Well, almost all of the scientists who have studied it spent a lot of time looking very carefully at what's happening to the oceans and looking very carefully to what's happening with the temperature. And they've all concluded that global warming is happening. And I think we need to believe them because they've spent a lot of time studying it carefully.
Global warming and climate change is a big deal, especially for my generation. It seems that the new administration doesn't believe that's a big deal.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of troubling, isn't it? Some of the people in Washington who are responsible for protecting the environment.
How can someone like me, a 9-year-old, help them understand it's important and it will affect my generation?
Well, I'm really glad that you want to help them understand it better. I think it's really important, and I think if they hear it from, children, maybe it'll have more of an effect on them.
I even try to help my community by cleaning up the Charles River with my Girl Scout troop.
In different states, it says I must be either over 21 or over 24 to run for state representative. How old must I be here in Massachusetts?
18.
I'll be able to vote then.
Right, so as soon as you're able to vote in Massachusetts, you can run for office. and you can run for any office in the
Even
state.
even president?
No,
Oh.
because president you have to be 35.
Oh.
And to be a senator, you have to be 30. A U.S. senator, you have to be 30. And to be a U.S. representative in Washington, you have to be 25. But in Massachusetts, if you want to be a governor, or you want to be a state senator, or you want to be a state representative, like my job, you can do that as soon as you're old enough to vote, when you're 18.
Are you going to run for president one day?
No, I don't think so. Especially if you run. If you decide to run, then I won't run.
Sometimes being 9, I feel like I can't make big change because it seems like grown-ups make all the decisions.
Right. But grown-ups don't always have all the best ideas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, I think it's good if people like you, want to get more involved and think about things in new ways and think about the world that you want to see when you get older. And I think you can definitely make a difference.
What is your advice for me if I want to be president of the United States?
Well, first of all, I think you're on a good path already because you're already thinking about all the sorts of things that the president does, right?
Yeah.
So that's, I think, the way to start.
Do you think we might have a female president before me?
I think we will. I think we'll have a female president before then. I sure hope so.
Me too. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. It has been a pleasure meeting you, and I look forward to seeing the changes you helped make in my district.
Thank you so much for coming to see me, Zoe. It's really been fun.
We leave State Representative Jonathan Hecht to take a tour around the State House. Right across from the green and beautiful Boston Common is our State House. Walking in the State House can be very intimidating. It's so big and beautiful. The first thing I noticed is Nurses Hall. There's a statue of an Army War nurse. It's the first statue to honor women of the North after the Civil War. The Hall of Flags is a special place where all our soldiers from Massachusetts are honored and remembered. The Great Hall is the newest addition to the State House. Each city and town represent themselves with a flag to display. The ceilings are so high and there is marble everywhere. We head back to the House of Representatives, where State Representative Jonathan Hecht and I already met. I still can't believe I sat where he sits when they were in session. Representatives can vote electronically by pushing a button with green as yay and red for nay. The results of the vote appear next to each representative's name on the board in the front of the room. One of my favorite stories is about the sacred cod. In 1933, the sacred cod was briefly kidnapped by editors of the Harvard Lampoon, prompting the police to drag Charles River and search an airplane landing in New Jersey. 1968, it was taken again, this time by students at the University of Massachusetts, Boston. Now it hangs at the House of Representatives, but boy, what a stink people made over being missing. Get it? Stink? Last we visit the Senate chambers, which is directly under the Golden Dome, which you see from outside the State House. Several presidents, including Jackson, Monroe, and Van Buren, spoke here. That's a lot of history. Settled on a national bird. Thomas Jefferson wanted the eagle, but Benjamin Franklin thought the turkey better suited America. Since the leading candidates were the turkey and the bald eagle, the artist designed a creature that had features of both animals. So what you see here is not real animal, sadly, but parts of two different ones.
Well, the road to presidency seems a little harder than I thought. But who knows? Maybe one day. I have some very hard questions for you. What's your favorite singer or song?
Wow. Old Man River.
Favorite thing to do when you were my age?
That's a great question. Probably play sports with my friends.
Now I have a few hard questions for you.
Those weren't the hard ones? Oh my gosh.
I hope you support me for president when I run. I can even put you on my staff if you want.
I would love to be on your staff. I'll be pretty old by the time you're president, but that's okay. When you become president, I will be ready to help you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You were listening, weren't you? You're a good interviewer.